Hey everybody, welcome back to Nioh. I'm the Last Robo Kai. I'm joined by Cool Guy and... Hey Cool Guy, someone's challenged us and he signed it Ganryu. Are you familiar with that name?
Ganryu. That rings a faint bell. I don't remember too much about it, but
Some impudent swordsman has challenged us to a duel.
Impudent rogue.
By a riverside. Let's just take a look and see if the name pops into your head before his boss meter turns up.
Nope, sorry, I'm still drawing a blank.
Oh, don't worry. You'll know it as soon as.
Oh, holy crap! Never mind. Never mind.
It is I, Sasuke Kojiro.
Yeah.
History calls him Miyamoto Musashi's greatest rival. He wielded a sword so long it was referred to as a drying pole, and his technique was said to be able to cut down a bird in flight, specifically a swallow, of which I am wearing the armor set Swallowtail. This might have been intentional a little.
Face. I got a good look at his face, and I was just like, ah, crap.
Renowned for being handsome and
Kojiro.
skilled, he and Miyamoto Musashi were essentially icons of their time, because Miyamoto Musashi rejected the concept of a singular fighting school, whereas Kojiro was quite adept at with his own founded one and quite famous. He was also a lot more upper class and, as we said, honed himself towards a particular technique, whereas Musashi traveled the world traveled Japan like a vagabond and had a mixture of different techniques, learned from different escapades, you might call them. And as you can see, the Odachi set that Kojiro uses comes out very, very fast. The most popular story for how their duel goes, however, is that Kojiro got completely and utterly shit-fuckingly owned.
Yeah!
Musashi turned up ridiculously late. Kojiro angrily discarded his sword's sheath, to which Musashi famously declared, Kojiro, you have just, declared defeat. I don't think it was his exact words, but basically said you've just thrown away the thing you're going to put your sword back in when you're finished. That kind of tells me you're ready to go. And then with one strike, beat Kojiro's skull in with a boat oar. With the boat oar that he had basically carved into a wooden sword. And then before anybody could take revenge on him, as was often the case when people got very upset and pulled their swords at the end of a duel, he jumped on a boat and used the change of tides that was coming to sail away. So
fucking good.
Miyamoto Musashi basically just according to a friend of ours, Miyamoto Musashi never considered Kojiro his greatest rival. Historically, everybody else seems to think so. I think in terms of what they stood for, where they came from, and how they ended, I think that basically is where that comes from. I think Miyamoto Musashi was never really aware quite of the
level of animosity that existed between the two, because thematically they absolutely were, in the sense that that Kojiro was a giant proponent, really, of the traditional way of apprenticeship with the sword. You pledged your your allegiance in your life basically to a specific sword school. You learned their method of fighting as well as you could, and then you advanced the sword school's glory and honor with your deeds. And Musashi kind of cribbed on that with the School of the Five Rings, but he was absolutely much more of a proponent of having a wide tool set to adapt to different situations, which is why he's like the archetypal wandering samurai, and it was also why he was so successful, because he knew exactly what his opponents were capable of doing, and he could basically counterpick what they wanted to do. And his work against Kojiro is absolutely a perfect example of that, because he used the ore. Since it was wood, since it was balanced differently, it was actually even longer than Kojiro's Odachi, and that was Kojiro's big advantage, his reach. He wasn't going to be able to handle people who had more reach than him. He figured it out before he showed up. And then he just made certain that Kojiro was not going to be able to realize what was going on by making sure he was pissed. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. One important thing as well is that, you know, Musashi would know the famous technique of his rival, because it was, you know, it was the swallow cut. It was an actual technique. Musashi, you never hear about his famous techniques. You hear about him being quite good at fighting with two swords. But there isn't really a technique that everyone goes, oh yeah, Musashi was famous for the super duper. He was famous for turning up late.
Yeah. He was famous for
late.
just, like, not giving a fuck, turning up late, and then just using the fact that he was rested and you were pissed against you. Oh, geez, this doesn't look dangerous at all. Yep.
You know, there are some ghosts of some red armored people appearing in the area, and no, they're not Sanada clan people. We are fighting a few Sanada remnants, but also the ghosts of the Takeda clan.
Oh.
And yeah, and we've talked about the Takeda clan a lot. They were a pretty powerful clan, especially under Takeda Shingen. Takeda Shingen was always really cool. I always like talking about Takeda Shingen. He had to sort of fight family member for rulership of the clan. I think it was an uncle. And when he did, he defeated those who had defeated the Sanada and taken their ancestral lands, and gave it back to him. And so the Sanada became ancestral, became vassals of the of the Takeda clan. And somewhat interestingly as well, as Takeda Shingen had a very huge rivalry with Usagi Kenshin, the man who was known as the God of War. And they fought on many occasions, neither really ever getting a huge victory over the other, and became fierce rival friends as a result of it.
Hate
to the
buddies.
Point that when the Takeda clan was being essentially salt blockaded by the neighbors, which, you know, essentially to try and weaken them, because they all were terrified of Shingen's ability to kick the crap out of them if you really wanted to. The Uesegi clan, under Kenshin's direction, snuck salt into their territories for them, so that they would be able to survive the winters, preserve their food and stuff, and keep their strength. Which is, you know, considering they were trying to kill each other on, like, a few occasions.
It says a lot. Uesegi's just like, I get that you're in a bad situation, but nobody gets to kill you except me.
And believe me, they came quite close to getting each other many a times. One of the most famous accounts is actually during one of their fights. Kenshin actually managed to, with a cavalry charge, heavily pressure the Takeda lines. Like, personally took part in the fight and pushed the lines all the way back to Shingen's camp, where Kenshin himself actually tried to strike down Shingen with his sword. And it is said that Shingen managed to fend him off using only his fan. So if you ever see this man with a gigantic like helmet with like overwrought designs of hair and everything on it, and he's just sitting there in a chair and he's holding a fan, that's Takeda Shingen, and that's just a sign of, you can come at me, motherfucker, but I can defend myself.
Just this fan. That's all I need to humiliate you. Like,
you know, because the lacquer in it was quite strong. And speaking of which, here's the man himself, Takeda Shingen's Revenant, with his really cool headdress.
Definitely jealous of that hair. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's actually made from imported hairs. We'll see the description later, because I'm going to look at it.
Oh boy.
That was pretty wild. I loved that, actually. But a lot of the ingredients, I should say, the parts that would make the helmet that the clan, you know, tended to have worn, usually was imported, and as a result, sort of helped sort of belie the status of the clan, because I'm pretty sure the Takeda clan were landlocked. So the fact that they were able to get really amazing stuff imported, I think it's yak hair, to be honest.
I'm still preoccupied with you getting blasted out of the air. It's just like it's a whole new meaning to knock you up.
Yeah, this time I didn't stop in the sky. I was just like, okay, I'll just lay in front of him and kill him.
Yeah. Fool me once. There you go.
Now I think that's a mistranslation because that just doesn't seem to fit.
I didn't hear the Japanese very well, or I'd be able to say it. I'd be able to translate, but whatever.
But yeah, so that was Takeda Shingen's ghost, just hanging out. You know, he must be pissed about the way his clan sort of imploded after he left. But you know, he kept it going really well while he was alive, and that's all you could ever really want.
Uh-huh.
Dear. Yeah, should the Tiger of Kai return us, followers of the Takeda be put in a dire position? Yeah, no, he absolutely spanked them on multiple occasions. Like, if he came back from the dead one day, the Takeda would have collectively pissed themselves. There's nothing they would have been more terrified of than the return of the man who clowned them so hard.
Oh god, why?
I always forget which button is what when I'm doing this. So yeah, here you go. It's got a lot of information for it. And the fact that it starts auto scrolling.
Definitely a yak. It says it was a yak,
yep.
Which was certainly imported. Yeah, no, the closest place you could get that was what is modern day Mongolia.
Yeah. And so, like, everybody wanted to have that helmet, and so, like, they held on to it because that's a sign of status right there.
No shit, that is a styling frickin' hat.
And now for the Sparrow flies again. We're very Sparrow themed this episode. If you noticed, I'm wearing the Sparrow armor. I fought a man who was good at cutting them out of the sky. Oh no, sorry, he cut down swallows. I said Sparrow before.
Swallow, Sparrow, whatever.
Yeah, and now we're going to be fighting the entire Date clan.
God damn it.
As the finale for this particular DLC. Because after this, we're moving on to the final DLC, if you can believe it. Oh boy.
This is happening.
Yeah. Let's get ourselves all rested up and ready for a pummeling.
Yeah, we're fighting the entire frickin' clan. Like, oh my god.
Well, we won't be needing this needle. What we're going to do is we're going to equip a spirit stone instead. And what this will do, basically, I can pop one of these, and Raikiri will be charged back up again. So, because being in living weapon means that it's an extra life bar. Worth noting, actually.
Alright, hi, buddy.
Yeah, Katakura Shiganaga leads us in. He will sometimes call in his allies to help him out. You'll hear him signal to them to come and attack. Strike, see?
Uh-huh.
And then suddenly, a member of the clan pops out and starts harassing you from behind. So, fun fact about Katakura Shiganaga, he ended up marrying one of Yukimura's daughters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he made sure that after all the events that happened at Osaka Castle, that she was safe, and he ended up marrying her. So it's like, because apparently his forces did engage Yukimura's forces at one point. The Date clan did in fact during the second siege fight the forces of Osaka, and Yukimura was actually really quite taken with Shiganaga's ability.
A minute there, I was wondering if you were gonna go in on him. Friggin', he just buffed himself up.
Yeah, so that's one down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that can't be it. There we go.
Nope, it's time for Date Shikazane in demon form.
Yup. I really appreciated how Katakura led the entire thing off by just throwing a giant bomb in your face. Really set the tone for that entire fight.
Yeah, and this fight doesn't operate in stages; it's a gauntlet. So you die, you're back to fighting the Shikanaga.
Whoa!
Yeah. Best moveset of any boss in this game.
Yeah, no joke.
Like I keep telling you, Date Shikazane is the apology for the first centipede boss.
Just like how tall he got. That was very intimidating.
it's really funny because when he's running, he gets low. He's got a grab attack too.
Yeah.
So I was having trouble getting used to his movements for a little bit there, but then got him.
Nice.
Which means there's only one thing left to do.
Yep.
Date Masamune. Round 3. Let's go, buddy.
Here we go, buddy. Let's fight.
Dear. See, I do quite like this. I love this particular fight. The first time I did it, it took me about 4 goes to beat, and I spent a lot of time hiding behind that tree.
Tree, it's already saved your life twice, so...
room.
There we go. Up and over.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Machine wash warm, tumble dry. Oof. I misinterpreted that one as his water spirit, and I thought we were about to see a whole bunch of whirlpools.
Nope. Not for the moment. Just wind damage, you know, to make sure the fight goes longer.
Down you go! Come on. Oh.
Usually
I
get a few free hits on someone from behind when they
I was gonna
stand
say,
up,
I was hoping for a twofer.
And there it is, but you know what? Free hits, I don't care.
Oh, shoot.
Such a good fight. Still perpetually amazed that I actually beat that first go.
I pay good money just to have like a supercut of just battles with Date Masamune. He is absolutely one of the most interesting and best designed bosses I've seen in this game.
He's pretty fun.
I
was really upset by this, by the way, because I stopped the dance there. And I was like, wait, the last time I did this, I just kept going. What the fuck? I was gonna do it all the way up to him. It was it was gonna be the worst flex I could imagine. I love his bow, by the way. He has the best bow. It's a warrior's bow.
Oh, that owns.
I love Date Masamune.
I love Date Masamune. This freaking guy.
Ah, he's so great. I haven't seen a rendition of him that I haven't fallen in love with. He's just fantastic.
I mean, there's so many ways you can do him right, and everybody wants to do him right.
Yeah. Ah, dear. But yeah, so that's it for the second DLC. Next time, DLC number 3, where everything hits the fan. The Siege of Osaka Summer. I've been the Last Robokai.
And I have been Cool Guy.
And we'll see you all next time. In even more Osaka and absolutely even more shit. Also, that fucking helmet. You're gonna love that helmet when we wear it.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hold my head in my hands again.